Captain Rex Ironhide Vance let out a deep groan from his starship's cockpit as his vessel finally left the range of the last human FTL, faster-than-light music station in this sector. He quickly jabbed a finger at the entertainment console, shutting off that alien nonsense before it gave him a splitting headache. He absolutely couldn't stand that click-clack, grating music. It just hurt his ears. After a moment's thought, he switched his entertainment console to his private collection. A soft tune began to play. Round, round, I get around. A small grin spread across Rex's face as the Beach Boys filled his cockpit. This was real human music, back when times were simple, and people only had to worry about nuclear bombs and commies. He had an entire collection of pre-contact music that he loved to play on his long space hauling routes. Most alien races hauled cargo in massive ships, with crews numbering around 50. They needed the companionship and the security of traveling in larger groups. Plus, they usually required someone to grow food, tend to the sick, and sing songs, a specialist for every single task. They tended to panic if they didn't have someone to fill each and every job position. But humans, well, humans didn't mind strapping themselves to a giant rocket with a medium-sized cargo bay and firing off into the void all on their own. Being alone didn't scare humans as much as it terrified those alien races. And yes, it paid damn good money, because humans were the only ones willing to take the extra long routes out to the isolated colonies that didn't need a whole atlas worth of cargo. The aliens had some sort of fancy title for this kind of position, but Rex knew exactly what he was. All humans called this kind of job the same thing, a space trucker. Gazing at his ship's display, which flashed with images of other alien vessels, Rex muttered under his breath, "Aliens." He glanced around his small cargo hold, which contained only the bare essentials: a small food replicator, a medical kit, a scorched xenoscat with a no-smoking sign defiantly taped to it, and his most cherished possession, his favorite music player packed with all his pre-contact tunes. It was an old model, one only he had ever used, and he clung to it fiercely. "I got it," he thought. His old, rusty but reliable cargo ship, the Galactic Wanderer, was his entire life. He had just finished a month-long journey, delivering medical supplies and a few luxury items to a distant frontier world. Now he was heading back towards Earth, where he planned to rest for a few days. A light flickered on his communication panel, an unknown signal. "Who is it?" Rex grumbled. Not many people disturbed him on these kinds of routes. He accepted the signal, and the screen displayed the face of a young, nervous, and strikingly beautiful woman. She had light hair and large, expressive blue eyes. She was wearing a science officer's uniform, bearing the Earth Federation insignia. "Captain Vance?" she asked hesitantly. "Yeah, Captain Vance. What do you want? I'm off duty right now, and if this is about bureaucracy, I'll talk later," Rex replied gruffly. He despised Federation bureaucracy. "I apologize, Captain. My name is Alara Reese, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Earth Federation. We need your help," she said quickly, her face etched with clear desperation. "Help from me, the Federation? That sounds odd. You people usually handle everything yourselves," Rex scoffed. "So what is it? If it's cargo, my fees are double." "No, Captain, not cargo. We've received some sensitive information, and we believe it could have a very negative impact on our Galactic Council," Alara explained. "We need that information delivered to a secure location, and your ship is the most inconspicuous. No one would suspect you." Rex narrowed his eyes. "Inconspicuous? What do you mean by that? My ship is perfectly fine, and sensitive information. Why don't you people deliver it yourselves? You have entire fleets." Alara took a deep breath. "Captain, it's so sensitive that we can't even trust our own fleet. We suspect there are elements within the Council itself who are compromised. And you're not aligned with any faction. You're an independent space trucker. No one will be watching you." Rex scratched his chin. "So you want me to carry an unknown, sensitive package that people from the Galactic Council might be looking for? And what's the reward?" "The Federation will pay you an amount of your choosing, Captain. And if you complete this mission, you'll be exempt from all Federation taxes for life. Plus, you'll have free travel anywhere within Federation space," Alara said, a glimmer of hope in her voice. Rex pondered this. Tax exemption for life, and unlimited freedom to travel. This was a huge deal, but something felt wrong. "And if I get caught, what then?" Alara's face fell. Then we won't know you. Your record will be wiped clean. But we must deliver this information. If you don't do this, it might not be good for humanity. Rex looked into her eyes. There was truth there. All right, but I have conditions. First, I need full details on what it is and where it's going. Second, I need advance payment. Third, if I get there and it feels like a trap, I'm out, no questions asked. A faint smile touched Alara's lips. Agreed, Captain. We'll send you the coordinates and details immediately. Payment will be transferred to your account right away. The connection cut. Rex let out a long sigh. They've all gone crazy, he muttered to himself. A space trucker who loved nothing more than peace and quiet, now involved in a secret Galactic Council mission. His mind raced. What names did I change? He'd decided his name would be Captain Rex Vance, and Emily's would be Alara Reese. He'd change all the other character names too. A few minutes later, an encrypted message arrived on his console. The coordinates pointed to a forgotten sector, one with no human settlements. And along with the message was an image of a small data chip. It read, "The Veritas Protocol." Veritas Protocol? Rex mused. This is something new. He checked his ship's systems. Everything was in order. He settled his old, weary body into the pilot's seat, and listening one last time to the Beach Boys tune, he fed in the new coordinates. All right, Wanderer, he spoke to his ship. Looks like a new adventure awaits us. The ship shifted its position with a slight jolt, and set off into deep space, towards the unknowns where the Veritas Protocol awaited him. This was a journey that would change his life, and perhaps the history of the entire galaxy. Chapter 1. The Lonesome Star Hauler and the Echoes of Earth Part 2. Captain Rex Vance wanted to spend a few days on Earth. He parked his ship at Mars Space Dock, a place he'd favored for years. This dock was vast, with thousands of ships of every size and shape coming and going. Here, he didn't feel lonely, and he could truly relax without disturbance. His first order of business upon landing was to send his ship in for maintenance. The Galactic Wanderer was old, but Rex had always kept her in excellent condition. Engine tuning, shield repairs, and a thorough cleaning of his cargo bay, all of it was necessary. He had received the advance payment from the Federation, so he could afford to have everything done properly. Among the maintenance staff was a Nulian, a member of a large, elephantine alien race. The Nulian had 2 large, constantly twitching noses and 3 massive hands. He nodded his head, twitching his noses at Rex, which was their cultural greeting. Captain Vance, it's good to see your ship, the Nulian said in a deep, reverberating voice. His name was Zorp, and he was the head mechanic here. Was your latest assignment a good one? Yeah, Zorp, everything was fine, Rex replied with a slight smile. Zorp was one of the few aliens he actually liked. Just some routine maintenance, and specifically, check my audio system. I was getting some click-clack noise last night. Zorp chuckled at his remark. Your pre-contact music player, no worries, Captain. We'll fix it right up. You know, we have special tools for your archaic devices. Thanks, Zorp. I'll be back in 2 days, Rex said, walking out of the dock. Walking through the Martian atmosphere, where neon lights shimmered and various alien races mingled, Rex found a strange sense of peace. He had decided he would spend a few days exploring Earth's ancient museums. He loved seeing old human history and art. Flags, ancient weapons, machines, and documents. All of it reminded him of a time when humans were alone, lost in this vast universe. He headed straight for the Museum of Human History. It was an enormous building, housing countless floors dedicated to every aspect of human history. At the ticket counter sat a young human girl. "1 ticket, please," Rex said. "May I see your captain's ID card?" the girl requested. Rex handed over his ID. The girl read his name, Captain Rex Vance, Space Trucker. She smiled. "You space truckers get some really long routes. How many years has it been since you were last on Earth?" 3 years, Rex replied. "Now, I just want some peace." The girl handed him a visitor pass. "Enjoy your visit, Captain." Inside the museum, Rex first visited the Humanities Golden Age exhibit, where old video clips played. People drove their small cars, talked on phones, and the technology of that era seemed so simple. Rex appreciated the innocence of that time. Then he moved to the First Contact exhibit. This section detailed humanity's initial meeting with aliens, how the first alien race, the Signans, made contact with Earth, and how humans, overcoming their fear, welcomed them. He didn't particularly like this section. In his view, humans had trusted everyone a little too quickly. The next section was the Galactic Council's founding. Here, large holographic displays showed representatives of various alien races sitting and forming a council. Rex thought it was all nonsense. To him, The council was just a hotbed of paperwork and politics. He quickly bypassed these displays and moved on. His real destination was the pre-contact music and arts gallery. This held his favorite things: old guitars, vinyl records, and videos of people dancing. His gaze fell upon an old vinyl record encased in glass. It was the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. "That's the same one I have," he mumbled. He noticed the record looked brand new, as if it had just come from the factory. Why is this even here? If this record is so precious, why were the Voyager probes sent into space? He placed his hand on the glass. "Think it's got an alarm?" he wondered aloud. "Yes, I think it's got an alarm," a voice beside him answered. "Blast, this isn't over. I'm going to make them give me that record. That's part of human history. It doesn't belong in a museum," Rex stubbornly declared. "Captain Vance, you can't just demand museum pieces," an electronic voice cautioned him. "Yes, I can. The lazy fools didn't even bother to look into the Voyager and find it." He stormed out of the exhibit area, ignoring artifacts from other species, but then stopped abruptly as he saw a large, rather busy exhibit filled with tourists. The sign above read, "The Regulation Wars." Rex paused, and Alara Reese slowly stepped up behind him, trying to take up as little space as possible. "Captain, let's go. I need to see this. It just doesn't make sense to me," Rex said, walking into the exhibit. Artwork lined either side. It depicted the founding of the Council, various alien races, the ass-faces, space poodles, fleckos, some kind of space gerbil, those exosuit cops, and the Libertonians. He couldn't help but notice the Libertonians were consistently cast in the shadows and looked evil. Then there was a massive painting titled Betrayal. It showed Libertonians in strange suits charging some kind of meeting, shooting at other species, and setting the surrounding building on fire. Another piece was called The Fall, depicting Libertonians in those suits falling from the sky, while other species looked heroic, shooting at them. Finally, there was Victory, which showed the other species standing triumphant around two now suddenly small, bent and subdued Libertonians, signing some sort of document. Rex's head spun. He closed his eyes and then opened them again. "This is all lies," he muttered. "I've done so much research. Libertonians were never like this. They were peaceful and knowledge-loving." Alara came closer to him. "Captain, this is the Council's official history. Everyone learns this." "Official history? The Council? This is all propaganda," Rex said angrily. "What about the Voyager probes? The ones with humanity's message? They even had a Beach Boys record on them." "Sir, I'm a science officer. I'm not a history expert," Alara said. "But the sensitive information you were talking about, does it have any connection to this?" Rex looked at Alara. His face was no longer angry, just deep in thought. "It might," he said slowly. "Maybe a very big connection." He looked at the betrayal painting one more time. The Libertonians' faces were expressionless, hidden by their suits. But the true history he had read portrayed Libertonians as even more emotional and open-hearted than humans. Something was very wrong. Rex realized that the Federation hadn't just made him a courier. They were involving him in a secret that could change the entire galaxy, and the Veritas Protocol was probably the key to that secret. He looked at Alara. "We need to get out of here, now." "But why? Just a moment ago, you were—" "Because," Rex interrupted her, "if this betrayal is a story created by the Council, then their biggest secret would be what truly happened. And if the Veritas Protocol is going to reveal that truth, then we are in danger." Alara nodded quickly. She had felt something strange too. "All right, Captain, but where will we go?" "To my ship, and from there straight to the coordinates," Rex said. "Looks like our vacation is over." They quickly exited the museum. Walking on the bright streets of Mars, Rex felt that he was no longer just a space trucker. He had become part of a secret that could challenge his old principles and the Council's propaganda. His mission was no longer just to deliver cargo, but to bring the truth to light.